Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome to Double9Radio. How are you doing today?
Hi. Good evening. How are you doing? I'm good.
Fantastic. Did you just ask me how I'm doing, right? You just asked me that.
Yeah, I just did. How are you
Okay.
doing?
You see, when you ask me that, I tell everyone I can't answer with just a straight answer like I'm okay. No, because I'm super duper okay. I'm fantastic. I'm awesome. I am amazed. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Great to have you here on the show. But my listeners are wondering, Double Nine, why you're always excited? I can't help it. I have exciting, amazing guests on the show. And today, I have an amazing talent on the show. But without further ado, I'll let him introduce himself so you don't think I've gone to get some imposter to represent this amazing talent. Who do we have on the show this evening?
Hi. My name is Brymo, and I'm calling from Nigeria this evening, and I'm quite excited to be here too.
Fantastic. I am super duper excited. You can't imagine. Since we confirmed that I was having the one and only, you know what? I prepared, so much for this interview. But I must say the nerves are getting the best of me. What can I say? Because I'm in the presence of greatness. What can I say? But I want to really try. So do bear with me if I do stutter sometimes.
Sorry?
If I stutter, please do bear with me.
Okay, no problem.
No problem.
Okay,
so ladies and gentlemen, we have the one and only skilled musician who understands his art. His songwriting ability or skill is out of this world. We always expect brilliance from this individual because he deserves no more than that. Welcome again to the show, Brymo.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Thanks for having me.
You're most welcome. But I'm sure, my listeners are probably so excited to find that you are here on Double9Radio as well. They're wondering who's this amazing guy. They know him. We've heard the songs. I've been playing some of your classic songs as well, and people are like really buzzing to it. But again, for people who probably hearing your voice as in not singing voice, you're hearing you as a person, and who want to know who Brymo is, what would you say to them?
Brymo is a singer. Brymo is a songwriter. Brymo is an ideologist, a philosopher. Brymo is Brymo is a lot of things, and but most importantly, I'm on this show this evening to talk as a songwriter, as a singer, and yes.
Fantastic. Yes, he's a songwriter and a singer, an amazing one at that. He's very modest, He should have put, I'm an amazing songwriter, an amazing an artist, but I mean, he's very modest. We understand that because I think it's amazing. I think you're amazing.
I like to think that we.
Go on.
I like to think that we're still talking, and we'll get to the part where I get to brag a bit.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay, let's get into it. Brymo, you're amazing. I mean, you've done great, lovely tracks. You've done about 7 albums already, which we'll get to as well. But I want to know, how did it all start? Where did it all start from? When did you realize, what, I can sing, I can write songs, I can do poetry, I can do amazing things? When did it all start?
I think that was somewhere around my teenage. I wanted to play football originally.
Okay.
And then I would, I would play a lot of football in the streets, and I was getting quite famous there.
Oh wow.
And then, but in my household, my mom happened to be a great music lover, and she would listen to all of the available local genres. She would listen to Fuji music and Juju music and Apala music, all of the available local sounds.
Wow.
Up until Juju and Co. Yes. And also, I grew up listening to a lot of highlights and a lot of foreign genres, say like R&B, like rock, like country and all that. Yeah. So one day, I had my first encounter with what people most likely will call fate. I'm one of those who believes strongly that indeed there's free will, and we all make our choices.
Yeah.
And we all lay in our bed as we make them. But still, I can tell you for sure whether I chose music or not. I think I wanted football And then one day I woke up one morning and I said, no, I don't want to play ball anymore. I just want to sing now.
Wow, amazing.
And I made that choice, and I never went back from then on. And I could never tell why, but yes, I ended up settling for music instead of football.
Amazing. I mean, that's really good. That's a really good story of determination, of strong-willed. You know, you go for what you want. You know, you don't. You woke up and you made a decision to explore your talents of singing, which is here today. Who knows? Mm-hmm. You could have been the African Messi if you decided to play football. Because I think if
I probably would be.
Yeah, I'm not even disputing that. I would never even dispute that, because your talent in music is second to none. I see. Because I mean, I want to talk about that as well. I'm going to talk about that as we go. But how long have you been in the entertainment industry now? If you was to look back your wonderful career.
I started out in 1999, but just as a songwriter, as a young boy, trying to find my way. And then I would write and write and write and write. Within the 2-year period, between 1999 and 2002 or thereabouts, about 3 years, I'd written maybe 150 songs. Wow. In parts or in completion. And for me, that was a process of learning songwriting. And so I went through that stage. By 2003, 2004, I started a band with a couple of friends, and we called ourselves Aliens. And then we went on, and we functioned for maybe 2 years, after which many of us went back to school, and we disbanded. And then I knew in that moment that I wanted to go through with the music, even if everyone else had quit. Yes. So I pulled out the files, picked up some songs that I liked, and I continued writing. And by 2006, 2007, I recorded my very first demo. I was working on my first album. I got sponsorship from a local promoter here in Lagos. Yeah. And I pushed on, and I recorded my first album in 2007 called Brainstorm. And yes, the rest has been history.
Amazing. I mean, you said you had 150 songs. I mean, in a lifetime of some artists, they could even put together. This is no diss, but this is just a fact. They could even put together 20 songs. Not to say 150 songs, because you have a lot of people who use ghostwriting. Nothing wrong with using ghostwriters. I'm just saying we just meet. This is an authentic, artist who writes his own songs. There's nothing wrong with writing, using ghostwriters. Again, I say it again. Don't come for me. I'm just saying. Yeah. But it's just amazing to come across an individual like yourself who was able to compose and write the songs as well. But which brings me to my next question is what inspires you? Do you know what I mean? Because I always ask this question. I ask a question about an artist, because some artists can be very dramatic and say, I have to sit by the window and have the sun rays come into my face and maybe some serenade or something, or I can see a bird fly, and I get this eureka moment and I start writing the song. But I mean, how do you come about and write song? I mean, let's know what inspires you as a person first.
For me, I think it is just the sheer opportunity of being alive. Just the sheer opportunity of breathing, of seeing things, of hearing things, the ability to talk, to express myself, to share, to be a part of experiences with other people. I think literally, as long as I breathe, I will always be inspired. Because I like to think that my future, the current trajectory my life is on, and the stories of other people are all aligned in one way or the other. And so yes, and I noticed that nothing that has happened in the past sort of happens again. We sort of outgrow experiences, and then new ones show up.
Amazing.
And so because of that, I'm always looking forward to what's coming, because whatever is gone usually is gone. There's always something new coming, and because of that, I don't think inspiration can ever be outstretched. It will always be endless. As long as we breathe, as long as we open our eyes and we can see and we can hear and we can perceive and we can taste, we'll always be inspired.
Okay. I mean, I had to take a deep breath because the way you just answer that question, it's like it just took me to another realm of knowledge and open up. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening this evening, his current album is called Yellow. If you haven't listened to that and you just heard him speak, then you should understand the kind of brilliance that was applied to that album as well. I've listened to it as well. I'm gonna possibly play some songs, maybe, I don't know, but I've been listening to it myself. But if you haven't listened to it, you don't know what you're missing out. But anyway, let's carry on. So 150 songs. So tell me, what is your songwriting process like? How do you write a song?
I would I think in the very beginning I would listen to other musicians whose music I sort of was connected to. I would listen and listen and listen to them, and then when I found a song that I liked from their work, I would like to be a part of it. I would like to connect with that song, and so I would try to write my version of the same song. So I think that happened to me. That I used that system for a while. So sometimes when you will hear some of my old songs, you will be able to guess. Like, do you listen to so person? You listen to so person. So I would take styles from other people and then write songs in that style, but trying at the same time to not write exactly what they wrote before. You know, write the same songs they wrote before. So that was how I started.
Amazing.
And then slowly, I started to find my own voice, started to find my own lyrics and find my own melody. And over time, in a very short period of time, I found out that I had just sort of grown into an understanding of how the craft was.
Yeah,
and I just got better and better and better every time I wrote.
Yeah, your evolution was amazing because you evolved from where you started from to where you are now. And there's one thing you said there, while you're answering the question, you mentioned my own lyrics, which is 100% because they're all yours authentic lyrics. I mean, I'm gonna be for you to know I've been listening to your songs. I mean, I have my favorites as well. I'm not gonna share my favorites, but I will be saying one or two of the lyrics, and I'm sure you can point out which track I'm talking about. Okay, I mean, as you know, artists are. I mean, we have a lot of artists, and now in the everywhere in the world, in Africa, in England. I mean, in the UK, in everywhere. Artists are litter everywhere, and I think artists do have an influence, regardless if they say they don't or not. The actions, the way they portray themselves, the kind of things they do, it's quite important because a lot of people kind of like look up to them, some parts of society.
Of course.
But in your opinion, I mean, what role do you think our artists play in a society?
For the artist, the artist plays a very, very, very important role. And it's sometimes difficult to pinpoint exactly what we do. But when I look at it, every time I observe it, I find that the artist represents a certain kind of a mirror in every society. We do not predict the future. We do not remember the past. We do not live in the present. We are everything culminated together. We are like the reflection of society. Yes. I think the politician may be on the other side. People get the kind of leader they deserve, and also the kind of entertainment they deserve. And the musicians do not decide the quality of entertainment. It is the people. So the artist represents the essence of every society. So if you visit a place and you think the music is not good enough, well, it's exactly as the people want it to sound. It's exactly as people want it to be. I remember in 2012 when Nigerians could no longer stand the mediocrity and people constantly complained about how terrible our music was. I was already a popular artist then. And I would hear it every time. On radio, on TV, people be like, what are you guys singing about? What are you people singing about? The song is crappy. The song is crappy. People said that a lot. And I became one of the musicians who said, okay, no more. We are going to step up and make sure the music sounds way better than it used to be. And that's only because the people wanted more. And so I was able to actually get up, and then started adding a bit more and more to my work. And between 2012 and now, we are going to say maybe 9-10 years or a bit more. And the music industry in Nigeria has really, really been different. It has grown. The music is way better than it used to be 10 years ago.
Yes, I would agree so. I would agree so as well. I mean, you have about 7 albums now, if I'm correct.
About 8 solo albums, with the 9th one is currently in recording. Maybe about 11 or 12 projects altogether.
Wow, amazing! I can't even keep up. I mean, your one of your albums.
I can't myself.
your album, Merchants, Dealers, and Slaves. I mean,
yeah.
the comment on that album was, I'm because I did a bit of research on this, and I listened to some of the tracks as well. He says that he's a capable vocalist who's a storyteller, regaling us with tales of his grandfather's love for wine and women, and philosophizing about money, Lagos, and Popu Jar. The album that followed was no less typically heavy. I mean, again, that's when, that was a lovely album as well. I mean, tell us, it mentions that, it was tales about your grandfather's love for wine and women. I mean, is that what inspired the album?
My grandfather's love for wine and women, in the context of the song, refers to Nigeria, actually. I didn't grow up to know my grandfather. My father even barely knew his father. So, in reality, I was talking about Nigeria. I think that at the time the song was recorded in 2013, Nigeria was about 100 years old altogether. And from when it was founded to when it got independence, and then 2013, Nigeria was 100 years old. And I wanted to make reference to how poorly we were doing on this journey by referencing my grandfather. Because the bulk of the time, when you see old people out here who are nuisance, who are nothing to be written home about, whom you can be truly proud of, they're usually old. They're usually old men. They're usually old men. They are pedophiles, and they are polygamous, and they are heavy drunks, and they are tyrants, and they are dictators, and they are terrible. Yeah. So every time you find someone who is old in our society who's a bad example, they are usually men. I don't know how the women do it. They find a way to just remove themselves from the light and stay behind and run things from behind. But I wanted to use grandfather because everyone could
relate to that.
With a drunk grandfather and a polygamous old man. Yeah,
amazing. And your single "No Be Me," a song that reminds you of your humanity and subjection to your environment over shooting strings and snares. It speaks to the common man struggling to keep up with the rising costs of goods and the young unmarried women.
Yeah.
I mean, tell us more about that.
No Be Me is a blend of different stories, and then, but most importantly, I think the song specifically touches base with the conversation about how, when something happens, everybody seems to want to wash their hands off and say, it wasn't me. And every time something happens, somebody tells you, I'm just human. I'm only human. I'm not perfect. It's a very, 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 very popular state of mind here in Nigeria. A lot of people, no matter what happens, they quickly go to the corner and tell you, I'm just human. I'm not perfect. And I have noticed that over time, we have become deliberately vile. We have become deliberately evil. And after doing everything we want to do, we then stop and say, it wasn't me. I'm just human. I'm just not perfect. I'm not perfect.
Blame me on a higher power or something. Blame it on something else.
Blame me on a higher power. I didn't create the world. It's not me. I'm just human. And everybody is saying they're just human. And everything is falling apart. Because everyone seems to forget that our words and our actions all contribute to the build-up and the makeup of reality. And whether you like it or not, what you said probably hurt the other person.
Yeah.
if they're hurt, they're hurt. There's nothing you can do about it.
Amazing. Amazing.
You can say.
Amazing.
Yeah. So so because of our contributions, definitely mean a lot. So which was why at the end of the song we said everybody wants something. Everybody don't forget. In our word and our action, and we shape reality. So yes, that was how the song had to end.
Amazing.
That way,
Amazing.
Everyone keeps telling you, I'm human, I'm not perfect,
Yeah.
But in reality,
yeah,
everybody's playing a role in everything.
Great. Okay, now I want to talk about the Yellow album now. So the new one, which is called Yellow, the new album, amazing album, just recently released as well. So I'm gonna repeat the lyrics. I'm gonna say it in English because it was said in Yoruba. Okay.
Yeah.
So I want you to, if I get it right, hopefully, then you tell me which track it was from. Okay.
Okay.
It says that everyone is eventually going to die, but what's going to be left is your character.
That would be Olaniwaju.
Fantastic.
Are you sure that's not from the show?
Okay, I think that's from a show. See, I mixed everything up.
Yeah, that's from a show.
Yeah, that's from a show. Yeah, I mean Olaniwaju as well. You know, that was I love that. You know, I mean that struck a chord with me. You know that because a lot of people focus on the physical, like acquiring wealth, especially in Africa. I don't want to pinpoint certain names. Yeah, it's done here in Europe as well, but the way it's done, and people are left in poverty without realizing that they're gonna die one day. They're gonna leave all this behind.
Yeah.
What are people gonna say after they've left?
Yes.
You know, so I mean,
sorry, what was the question?
No, I'm just talking about the track. You know, I'm just talking about the track.
Right.
How amazing the lyrics were, which struck a chord with me because
thank you.
For you to actually even put that in a song and people should be able to relate with that. That's amazing. Okay, then heartbreak songs are better in English. Yes.
Now, I have a request.
Yes.
I want you to play that song on this show before I leave.
It's got to definitely. It's definitely before when we go on a break, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't listened to heartbreak songs are better in English, I mean, oh my gosh! And there's one you performed live. You performed live as well. I think I'm not even sure. See, I've listened to all this music. It's just in my head now. Femi, you performed this live as well. That was amazing.
Femi from Tabula Rasa, yes.
Yeah, that was amazing as well. I'll be playing that during the break. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to keep you in suspense. We're gonna go for a short break now. Because you requested that. We're gonna go for a short break. Then I'm gonna play heartbreak songs are better in English. And also a bit of Femi as well, because I don't want to keep us too because I know we want to find out more about amazing guests this evening. So stay locked on, stay locked in. It's your host Double9 on Double9 Radio with a fantastic guest, Brymo, amazing talent on the show. Enjoy. Welcome back to Double9 Radio. I know I'm still playing that track because I almost actually forgot to come back online because I was enjoying it so much. Trust me, oh my gosh. This is Femi. He did this live and it was just electrifying as well. Amazing tracks there. I hope you enjoyed it as well as much as I did. I'm going to be playing that even after the show as well. Brymo, welcome back to the show. And again, thank you for such masterpiece and creativity on the tracks as well. I mean, I still like more. I still like more, of those. I mean, the music I think is amazing, I mean, let's talk about the first one, the breakup. What was it again? Breakup music is better in English. Heartbreak songs are better in English. I mean, who produced that? Who was the producer on that one?
I've worked with the same producer for the last over 10 years, and except when I got signed, when I was signed to record label in Lagos, and I did a project, Son of a Carpenter, with multiple producers. Aside from that one project, and Libel, which is my latest EP from last year, a 5-track EP by a guy called Bigfoot here in Lagos. What's it called? the I have songs are better in English. Like about maybe 7 or 8 of my albums was produced by Mickey Me Joseph, and he's been a producer for the last 10 years. Yeah.
Amazing guy. Because I mean, I can name quite a number of tracks I love on Yellow album as well. I mean, Brain Gain is another one I really like as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you do stream that amazing album. It is available on all platforms as well. All you need to just type in Yellow and you will find it. Yellow, just type in Yellow Brymo, Brymo.
And literally, Mickey produces all these albums. We sit in the studio together, session after session after session, sometimes for 3 whole months.
Wow.
And he produces every single song. He mixes every single song. He masters every single song. And sometimes, when it's really tough, when we have a lot of workload, we'll probably mix a master in Canada or something.
Amazing.
But the bulk of the time, he does most of the work, and I write all the songs. Now, this does not point to the fact that maybe I would prefer to write all my songs myself. Maybe I insist on being the one writing my songs. No, that's not what happens. What happens is, from experience, from years upon years of listening to music, or writing music, or following other artists, I have noticed a pattern that seems to be recurrent, which is that we have there is a difference. There's a clear difference. No glitches whatsoever. When the artist who writes the song, the artist who wrote the lyrics, and they sing the song carries a whole lot more meaning.
Because there's more connection, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, there's a connection between the person singing it because they wrote it, and every thought that gives birth to every lyric will be reflected in the emotions when they sing that lyric. So yeah,
amazing.
Because of that, I sort of prefer to write and sing my own song, just so that I can have that connection on every track.
I mean, you got the talent. You got the talent, Brymo. I mean, you could write 150 songs. I mean, I'm still astonished. I'm still pleasantly surprised on that one. That's quite amazing. I mean, okay, let's talk about, what do you think? I mean, your music, I think, is amazing. But what do you think it actually mostly identify with? If anyone was to ask you, your music, it's great, it's wonderful. Who would you say identifies more with your type of music?
Who
would you say identifies more? Who are your audience? Who loves listening to it? If you're gonna describe an individual, who would say, Brymo is my favorite artist? What would be the, what would they say they are? Middle class women, rich old men, young. Do you know what I mean? What would you say are people that identify mostly with your music?
I think that will be people from their early to late teens till infinity, because my music is to an extent very grown, which means that a primary school child would require the assistance of their parents, of their guardians, to fall in love with my music, because it would take a guardian to play it in the first place.
You're right.
Yes, a fresh teenager may not be quickly attracted to my work, but eventually, somewhere between your late teens and mid to late teens to your early 20s, you will stumble across, you find Brymo. And I pray you don't find Ozymandias at first, because you fall in love immediately. And you find Ozymandias, or you find Esprit Call, or you find Blackmail, you find any of those songs from Yellow, you will immediately fall in love with Brymo. And then, so most of my listeners are people from their mid to late teens upwards. And there are people who tend to think that there can be a bit more to entertainment.
Fantastic.
Than just
fantastic.
Just attractive beats.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you there. We got our first caller who is called in to speak to you. I'm sure they're starstruck like me as well at present. Good evening, good morning. It's Double9Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good evening. My name is British Mendoza. Hello, everyone. Hello, Brymo.
Hi.
Hello, British Mendoza. How are you this evening? Thank you for calling in. Do you have a question or a comment?
To be honest, I don't have a question. I just want to give him his flowers. I heard you asking who his audiences are. I am one of his audience. I think his music is just mature and beautiful. I just want to give him his flowers and say, well done. He has grown so much in the music. I've been following him from when I was listening to Oleku, and he has grown so much. His type of music has just changed, and I just want to say, well done. God bless you, and you keep growing, and you reach the audience that you need to reach.
Amen.
So just well done. Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. I love you, and I'm one of your number one fans. Okay.
I love you too. I love you too.
In the UK, so we can watch you.
You hear that?
That's all I gotta say.
Bravest, we want you in the UK. You know, one of your fans that says, you know,
I'll be there soon.
He said, oh, wonderful. He says he's going to be here soon, British Mendoza. So watch out. Make sure you buy those tickets when he's here or when he's coming as well. Fantastic.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Speak to you soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I mean, that's one of your fans, though. I mean, just answer the question for you already. Who are your, music? What does your music identify with? She's answered the question. Okay, I want to ask a question. Again, I mean, we're asking questions. I read an article. You were being interviewed by, a journalist. I think it was earlier in the year today, and there was a question or a response around freedom. You asked, I can't exactly remember the exact question, but what does freedom mean to Brymo?
Freedom. Freedom is freedom. Freedom is everything freedom means. But what I would say, what I love to say about freedom is that I don't think the concept is to be free every now, every other time, to wake up free, to walk freely, to live freely, to do everything freely. I don't think that's the real concept. I think the idea is to take back our freedom little by little as we get older. I think I found that as I age, to not be able to do certain things yourself becomes more and more of a problem as you get older. If you can't take care of your own feeding daily and take care of yourself and feed even extra mouths, you're not grown up enough. If you can't afford your own clothes, you can't pay for your own house, you can't pay for your own car, you are not grown enough. All of this are standard by yardsticks by which we measure ourselves every day.
Yeah.
And so, yes, the more of these problems you solve, the more independent you sort of become.
Yeah.
When you can pay for the house and you can pay for the car, you can pay for the clothes, you can pay for the food, you can pay for everything, then people start to say you're rich. Then people start to depend on you more than you depend on people. And then you just become more and more independent. And that's the kind of freedom itself.
Amazing.
And that material freedom itself is birthed from an emotional and mental freedom. If you cannot think for yourself, you cannot become successful. So, I like to think that the boss is just anybody who has control of their time every day. If you decide when you go to bed, and you decide when you eat, and you decide when you sleep, and you decide when you do everything you decide when you get up.
Amazing.
If you decide when you get up from bed, when you resume work, you are the boss. You are in charge.
Amazing.
And the more control of your time you have, the more independent you become day in, day out.
Yes.
And the more freedom you can assert. Yes. So I like to think that freedom is a process.
It is.
We take it little by little. Yes.
I agree with you.
If you grab too much, of it, you get in trouble. So I like to call everything I do the journey towards freedom. And
you're 100%.
Eventually, death is the ultimate freedom.
Fantastic. I mean, I would say, the freedom, actually is very reflective in your work, because your evolution kind of like gave you the freedom to create things in your own way, which showcase your talent, in your work. Yeah. Because if we look back, I mean, the caller that just called a minute ago talked about one of the tracks, Oleku, right? So that was almost like it was a great single, great amazing vocals on there, but it was more of a, should I say, commercial type of track. But now you're creating classic tracks. You're creating tracks you could play 10 years from now, and it will still be relevant. I talked about Olana Raju as well. We talk about the track I played, the Heartbreak Songs Are Better in English. I mean, those kind of music are things that I think it was the freedom within you, like you mentioned, taking that freedom little by little gave you the ability to, you know what, I'm not listening. I'm not going to be constricted with what society's saying. I'm not going to be constricted with what the industry saying that you must do some poppy or some hip hop type of tracks. I'm creating me. I think that's quite amazing.
Yeah, and also what's most intriguing is the fact that I found out from experience that the industry did not impose any of the methods that we now live with daily. The people did not. Like I said before, people get the entertainment they deserve. So the Nigerian society functions a certain way, and so the music industry became that way. And by the time everyone noticed what they noticed first in the music industry. So people noticed how we musicians were, or how we are. People notice how we behave, how we live. People notice how the things we say in respect to women, in respect to men, in respect to money, in respect to love. People hear it first from us. Then when they heard it from us, they started to become disgruntled. People became dissatisfied. Like, why do the musicians make this kind of music? Why does it sound this way? And that was when I came in. I was the guy who listened and said, okay, this is what people are complaining about. This is what people don't like about Nigerian music. Okay, I'll be the guy who fixes that. I'll be the guy who reaches into his soul and pulls out all of that conversation.
Amazing.
All that conversation that my parents refused to have, that my uncle is currently not having, that the president is refusing to have, that the market women don't want to have, that the musicians don't want to have. I want to have these conversations with myself, with you, the listener.
Amazing.
And so I just started slowly to, like you just said right now, to then evolve slowly and take my freedom back one step at a time.
Yes.
Such that it's such a beautiful thing to watch, even for myself, because every album sounds way better than the last one.
It does.
And yes, better than the last one, and all because I just wait a little more. I just wait a little longer. I wait a little longer, and I have to listen to myself. I have to listen to the voices. I have to listen to my surroundings, because the inspiration, where the music industry is going next year, will be revealed to every musician this year. Every artist will know where the industry is going next, but only a few artists will work hard for it and position well for it.
Amazing.
Many will work hard. They won't position well. Many will position so well they won't work hard. Only a handful, only 1% of the 1% will prepare and work hard at the same time.
Amazing.
So yeah, I'm sort of happy to be 1% of the 1%.
I would agree. I would agree, because your music is meaningful. I listen to a copy of your tracks. I can identify with them. I can, the lyrics in there. I remember that lyric, because it struck a chord, with me. It kind of like stuck with me and said, you know what, that's actually true. That actually makes sense. It makes you kind of like go into, realization of things around you mostly. And I think that's quite amazing. I mean, we talked about the entertainment. You mentioned the entertainment industry quite briefly, just while you answered the question as well. But I mean, what else do you think is lacking within the entertainment industry, particularly in Nigeria at present?
Well, the brain of our problem, the foundation of it, all of the issues in the music industry boils down to just one conversation that is over a decade old now. A conversation that never goes away, which is the market structure. And that's not such a big deal anymore, because everything in Nigeria is lacking in structure. And so because of that, it has sort of become like something we're familiar with. And so therefore, everyone seems to talk about it less and less and less and less.
Wow.
And now it's a dying conversation. But personally, I have gotten to a point where I'm beginning to think about solutions. I'm beginning to think of grabbing huge amounts of money, of putting 10 billion naira or more into an app that becomes like Nigeria's own Apple Music or Spotify. I'm thinking about sitting with the president or sitting with the vice president and having conversations about starting an agency that would actually truly make every song in Nigeria accountable for. I'm thinking about stopping free downloadable blogs. I'm thinking about stopping, there are a lot of things that must be put in place before we can then start making money off what we do. I'm thinking of a streaming app for concerts that sells tickets online and people get to watch concerts online with it. I'm thinking about a lot of solutions that actually bring money directly from the Nigerian listeners at home into the pocket of the Nigerian musicians at home.
I mean,
because so far as it stands, we all depend on Apple Music and Spotify and Deezer and all of these international platforms to make a living.
Yeah.
And we are playing no part in that field, despite the fact that we are top 5 music market in the world.
Amazing.
Even if it's not even if it's not the most money spinning, we are top 5 hottest music market in the world. So people are talking about Nigerian music every day.
Of course.
Now,
I mean, Snoop Dogg played a bit of some Nigerian music the other day on his live. So you're right. You're right.
We have become big. We are global in appearance. We are global in picture. We are not global in business. We are not global yet in the music business.
Okay.
And I have a feeling that we will never be strong enough out there until we consolidate our strength locally. When we make the most use of our talent locally, and the musicians are making bread off their work locally. Now, I get a lot of streams from Lagos every week. Lagos contributes over 40% of my global streams every week.
Wow.
Because I live here. And this also goes a long way to tell you that people are wrong when they say Nigerians don't like to pay for music. Because I get 40% of my streams every week from Lagos.
Wow.
And I'm very happy about that.
That is good. That is a good thing.
Except the people streaming me are using Apple Music, you see? And so my money is in New York. So I wait every week to get royalty statements from New York. But I live in Nigeria. And I sell music to Nigerians. But for every time Nigerians stream my work,
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. So the local population is buying my music, but I'm getting paid from New York by another company that's not Nigerian at all. Which is still good news because I get to make money anyway. But I feel economically, because this is Nigerian music, and these are Nigerians being my number one set of customers, it is only right that we are able to gather that wealth locally and distribute it ourselves locally.
Of course.
As soon as we begin to meet foreign nationals and foreigners to help us organize our own market, to help us milk our own market, then we have a challenge.
Of course.
We have a challenge because it has gotten a bit tighter over time. Today, Nigerian artists are looking forward to winning the Grammy than they are looking forward to getting any award locally. So it's getting tighter every year that the local industry is literally just dying off, is literally non-existent. And Lagos and Abuja and all our cities have now become an extension of the American music industry, literally.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Because
we no longer have a Nigerian music industry. Yeah.
I mean, you're right. That's a very valid point you've made. And I think, and I hope, because, I mean, we have a culture ministry or Ministry of Culture in Lagos, in Nigeria. I mean, I don't know what they're doing, because they're meant to be protecting things like this and having to sit down with artists like yourself and bringing up, solutions to this type, because you're quite right. The music industry would die off, and it would not be some kind of international company who would be in charge of paying artists, which is quite sad as well. Okay.
And
yeah.
So I don't know. and what you said about the ministry and the artists, I found that all over the world, it is usually the stakeholders who fix their marketplace. It's never the government. I think the government can pay referees. The government can.
The government will still support. They'll still show some support and, give them the support to say, you know what, we want this to happen. That will then give confidence to any investors that want to come in the country. But if the government is not doing that, or they're giving it on no incentives, we're not asking the government to give you money, no. But everywhere in the world, there's always a support from the government, and then you have investors having confidence in coming to the market. Anyway, Bravest, we don't want to turn this into a political debate. We're going to be here forever if we start about the Nigerian politics. It's going to be a nightmare.
I swear.
It's going to be a nightmare. Okay, let's talk about your most recent, acting. You went into the acting field. You did a price of admission.
I did a short film with my good friend called Udoka Oyeka, and we did something called the price of admission.
Okay, and that it's been released. Was it released earlier this year in January?
Yes, earlier this year. We had a viewing at Alliance Française. So yes, it was good. It was a good one. Okay. My very first official movie.
Fantastic. and where is it available to watch? Where can anyone watch it if they wanted to have a view of this?
I think it's on YouTube for now.
Okay.
There's a short film. It's no more than 15, 20 minutes. I'm not sure. But it's on YouTube. Price of admission.
Price of admission, yes. Price of admission, yes. You know what I mean? It's the first Brymo film. You must watch it. Everyone must watch it. Because I'm sure the acting will have been insane. Because I saw a bit of a clip. I saw a bit of a clip of it as well. And I thought, wow, Brymo's acting now. Amazing. It's talented, all rounder. All rounder. Okay, now.
Oh well, I think it was just a story of an upcoming artist who had done everything possible to become popular, even with Toyola, and then he still didn't get his opportunity.
Oh gosh, he still didn't get through. Okay, let me ask you this question, and you can't give me a political answer. Ladies and gentlemen, we do apologize about that. It's a bit of a technical issue. As you know, technology can never be predicted. But I guess technology wants to be on the side of Brymo because we asked him to give us his 5 top favorite albums of all time and why. And then technology came in and tried to save him. No, we are going to find out. You're going to tell us. We are listening.
All right. So, I think I can do 3.
Okay, all right, let's do 3 then. We'll do 3.
All right, that will be somewhere between Simi Solar's Simi Solar. I love Simi Solar. I love John Mayer's Born and Raised, and I love Frank Ocean's Channel Orange. Yes.
Nice. Yes. Nice, that's good. I mean, you had a good mix there. A bit of, you put us a bit of Afrobeat or African talent in there, which is good. And who would you say are your main musical influences?
Main music influences will be, there's John Mayer in there, there's Stella in there, there's Frank Sinatra in there, there's my mom in there.
As you do. As you do, of course. I'm sure Mom is listening. Hello, Mom. We love you. As you do. Okay. So this one, you cannot tell me. You have to give me an answer. You can't.
Okay.
You cannot not give me an. And I don't want no political answers as well. It's a bit controversial.
Okay.
It's a bit controversial. Who are your favorite Afrobeat artists? Give me 3 names. I think it's when we ask him all these controversial questions, the technology is actually sort of trying to help him out this evening. I don't know. It's kind of unusual on this one. Okay, so we wanted your 3 favorite Afrobeat artists, please.
My 3 favorites will be somewhere between the bands.
Okay.
And Whiskey. and Olamide.
Oh wow! Okay, fantastic. That is such. I mean, Wizkid, D'banj, and Olamide. Amazing choice. Okay, thank you for that. See, that was quite easy, isn't it? No political pressure on that one. Okay, so what do you enjoy most about being an artist? What does Brymo enjoy most about being an artist? Is it the stage? Is it when you're performing? Is it when you're in the studio? Is it when you're writing songs? What do you enjoy most?
I love the fact that I get to play a part in every section of my work. Literally, I am a pile of unstoppable energy. Wow. Literally, I am on the move every day, all day, until midnight minimum. So even when I'm lying down still, my mind is running 1,000 miles an hour. And so when I'm walking real fast. I'm always very, very active. Because, sorry, what was the question again?
You made me even forget. Like, what do you enjoy most about being an artist?
Yes. So because I'm all of this energy, I get bored easily. I get very bored easily. So when I'm on the studio performing, after a while, I get tired. After an album drops, and after like a year, I start to complain at band rehearsals. I'd be like, these songs are too old. I want new songs to sing. And my band would be like, it took a year ago. And you performed this all good, you know?
Wow.
So I get bored very easily. So the fact that I get to write songs and I get to be in the studio, I'm part of the production of the song.
Yeah.
And then I record them. And then sometimes I'll just randomly just call on Mickey to be like, how's it going? I want to hear samples. I'll visit the studio to see progress until the album is ready. I literally will come up with ideas from our videos, or I will talk to the director and share concepts with them. But I will always play a part in one way or the other.
Okay.
And then after the video, I discuss release plans with my management. Like sometimes Larry Lawal will be like, "Bro, I'm the manager. Can I do my job?" And I'll be like, "Yes, you can do your job, but this is how I want it done." And I love to take part in every aspect.
Amazing.
Until the release day, I'm always on the phone talking to everybody involved to make sure that everything goes exactly as planned. And the results are always amazing. So yes, what I love the most about being an artist is being a part of every
aspect of it. Amazing. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go into the questions that we have this evening. As I mentioned before, the phone lines as 074 956 36899. You can call me via WhatsApp only, or send a WhatsApp message only this evening as well. We have some questions already that have come in as well. I'm just going to be touching on some questions. We have quite a few questions, but I do apologize if I don't ask your question, but I'm just going to pick randomly. So I have one from Tyre. Tyre's from Stratford. Tyre says, what's the best advice you've been given? You've ever been given?
None. I've never been given any good advice in my life.
Oh, wow.
And I'll advise anyone listening, don't take anybody's advice.
Amazing.
And now sometimes someone is saying something that aligns with what you already think. You're not taking any advice then. You're already thinking about it. So you're getting confirmation. Seek confirmation. Seek dialogue. Seek contradiction. Seek analysis. Seek diagnosis. Find a way to know what's going on, to know what's behind what's going on. And I think the making decisions, when you ask for advice, you are talking about making decisions. I think that is the least important thing in the process, in every process. The most important thing is knowing. Get information. The moment when you have enough information, you're going to have a eureka moment, and you're going to be like, yeah, that is the answer. Because there's enough information on ground to inform an answer.
Okay.
So no advice, please. Just confirmation. Just
get your own advice. That was Bravest says. You know, do you know what I mean? Okay, we have another question from Sandy from Edmonton. Sandy says, do you have any hobbies or interests outside of music?
Yeah, outside of music, I like to write. I published a book, and a smaller book, like what's it called, like a short story, or a story of a book of poses and poems and poetry and all that stuff.
Oh wow!
So and I have a fictional novel called Oriri's Flight, set in old Nubian continent. Yes.
Amazing.
So
okay.
I like to write, and I like to read, and I like to cook noodles a lot.
That's amazing. Okay, we have another question. I'll take this final question from Joy. Joy says, what's the bravest thing you've ever done?
I think the bravest thing I ever did was when I was a younger artist, say 19, 20, for those who know me, I have some tribal marks on my face, and it was very difficult for me to want to make a music video, because everybody on TV out here in Nigeria who are musicians on videos, they don't have tribal marks. So it was very, very difficult for me. Maybe the only insecurity I ever suffered as a musician, to decide to make a music video and be on TV performing with my tribal marks on.
Amazing. Amazing.
I was worried about that for a bit.
Amazing.
Amazing. Maybe that's second bravest. The first bravest thing will be leaving home and coming to town to come and pursue my ambition to start as Brymo from Lagos. Because I wanted to just be international from day one.
Amazing.
I remember packaging my first demo and sending it straight to New York, hoping that I would get a universal deal at the age of 19 in 2006 or thereabouts.
Yeah.
So, but I had to start small. I had to start from Lagos. So I think the bravest thing I ever did maybe is that I left home at 22 or thereabouts and just picked my bag and moved to town. I literally moved from my hood into Emma's house.
Amazing.
The deal with Chocolate City, yeah. So I think that was how it started.
Amazing. Okay, so what advice would you give to any young aspiring artists listening to you this evening?
Sorry?
What advice would you give to any young aspiring artists listening to you this evening?
Well, like I said before, do not take anybody's advices, but
make your own advice.
Do not take my advice.
Okay, no advice. Okay.
Here's what I say.
Okay.
Sing. Just keep singing. The best way to sing is to keep singing. And there was a time that I probably would have listened to maybe 150 different musicians in a year, and I would listen to all the new songs. Up until this very moment, I probably listen to up to maybe 400 songs a year till date.
Wow.
Which means I go through almost every new song in the world. If I hear it on radio, I'll pause and listen to the whole verse and the chorus at least before I keep moving. If I'm in the car, I'll ask everybody to shut the fuck up so I can listen to the song.
Of course.
Wherever I am, I just want to listen to the next new song. And I'm always listening to the new songs. And so I think one thing it does is it helps you update your database, your melody database.
Yeah.
Because the melodies they become old, and if you sing the melodies that were sung 15 years ago, people will know that you sound old school. So I like to think that when I listen to new music, I get to catch up to the new sort of melodies we use, and that sort of makes it amazing. It makes music, the music you create, timeless.
Yes.
Because you have all of this information from the past, from last year to this year, so you are always updated. You know what melody sounds old school. You know what melody to use. Yeah, so it sort of helps with songwriting a lot.
Amazing.
But remember, do not take my advice.
Do not take his advice. He's just talking. Don't take his advice. Okay, Bravest, before we say goodnight to you, because it's been amazing, I had such a great time, I want to know something.
Thank you.
I want to know something. And, this has to be authentic. It's not something you've ever said anywhere else. It's exclusively live on Double9Radio. Share a fun fact about you that no one knows.
Fun fact about me, I'm working on my 9th album.
Wow.
And, yes, it's currently in the process of recording. It's called 9. And there are 18 songs. 9 of them are in Yoruba, and the other 9 are in English. And 9 will be out on the 9th of September, 2021. And I am looking forward to it. It will be my biggest album ever. It's the greatest shit I ever put out. And I am particularly excited because this is the shortest period that I have had to release another album. I remember clearly, Yellow came out about a year ago, exactly a year ago, and which was 1st of April, 2020, and which is exactly a year ago, like a few weeks ago. And I am quite excited because this is the fastest I've put on another album almost in the same year. So this is April, May, June, July, August, September.
Yeah.
In another 5 months, I'll be putting out a new album. And it is the shortest I've had to go to put out a new album. So I'm excited because of the amount of work that I've gone into it. I've literally worked on this album every day from the day I released Yellow up until now.
Amazing.
Because I need at least a year. Before I start recording any songs. And then for me to write these songs and start recording them about a year after I put out Yellow, I must have started writing them exactly a week after I put out Yellow. And so I had to deal with the challenge of the fact that the album must sound very, very different from Yellow. Different themes, different conversations, different topics, different angle of speaking from. And I must achieve all of that in just this 1 year period. So that was very exciting for me. Very
amazing. I mean, you've made me anticipate the next album now. I am super duper excited because Yellow's amazing. The previous one was amazing as well. Thank you. I mean, I can't wait as well. And I'm sure you let us know when it's coming up. And maybe we can even get you back on. And also, we're looking forward to you coming to the UK to give us a performance live, because I
can't wait.
Individuals. I envy individuals who you see you perform live, because it's such an electrifying performance as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you are streaming the current album. Head over to all platforms, type in Brymo and Yellow. The word Yellow is the name of the album as well. Trust me, I've played some tracks already on the radio. I'll be playing more throughout this evening as well for you to get a taste of it as well. But make sure you're also following him on Instagram as well to get more updates on the great things or great work he'll be putting out shortly. Brymo, it's been amazing. It's been great to have you on the show. I've had such an amazing time. And I am so glad to have you as a guest on this show, because
thank you so much.
It's been an experience, and it's been one I think will stay with me for a very long time. But before you go, do you have anything to say to your fans all around the world listening to you right now?
I'd like to say keep listening and don't go nowhere, and keep streaming, keep downloading, keep enjoying the music that you love, and
fantastic.
Keep living great.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the one and only Brymo, the great songwriter and lyricist, and also the great performer. Man, listen, when he says he's coming to perform anywhere in the world where you are, make sure you get that ticket, because you're in for a treat.
Yes, make sure.
You're in for a treat. You're in for a treat. Brymo, again,
thank you so much.
It's been amazing. It's been wonderful. I've had such an amazing time. I want to say a big thank you again for taking time out to come on the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good night. All right.